Breaking on Squawk Box this morning, iRobot, the maker of the Roomba vacuum cleaner, has now filed for bankruptcy protection. The CNBC All-America Economic Survey showing the high cost of goods having a large impact on the Christmas shopping season. Meantime, the survey also showing 41% of Americans will spend less this year than they did last year. And data shows New York State factory activity declined in the December reading after 2 months of increases, but the outlook for the next 6 months was optimistic. Take a quick look at the markets before we hand it over to our friends on Squawk on the Street. Dow up about 250 points, S&P 500 up about 37 points, NASDAQ up about 180 points. Melissa Lee, thank you for hanging out.
Pleasure as always, Andrew, to be with you.
Always.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you join us then. Squawk on the Street begins right now.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Jim Cramer and David Faber at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. We kick off the final full week of trading of the year this week. Futures pretty solid, unwinding some of last week's decline. We'll catch up on some eco data this week. We'll get some jobs, some retail sales, 10-year around 416. Our roadmap begins with the state of the AI trade. Oracle's coming off those double-digit weekly losses. NVIDIA coming off 4 straight down days, and a big downgrade for one major AI chip player.
Plus, President Trump says Kevin Warsh is at the top of his Fed chair candidate list. This is J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon reportedly signals his support. And Goldman Sachs making a bullish call on one key area of the market. It's rallying right now. They're saying investors have not priced in growth in this sector for next year.
If our screen looks a little bit different today, that's because CNBC has introduced an updated logo design. The peacock may no longer appear beside our name, but everything you can count on from our reporting remains the same. This upward tick anchors the new logo and hopefully reflects our commitment to giving viewers the chance to achieve their financial goals and ambitions. Jim, kind of rhymes with the upward chart graphic design that we've designed.
A lot of people have asked me what will be the big change when we move over, or we are moving over to Versant. And I have said over and over again, nothing. And I don't think it matters at all because the programming is the same. I mean, David, you know that it has always been kind of an afterthought, necessarily, who you work for versus doing a great job.
Yeah, no, it's not going to change anything we do or the way we do it. I may talk a little more about Comcast in a way that maybe,
I was going to ask you. That's one of the reasons I brought it up.
Not that, frankly, to be fair, Comcast has never, and I always have appreciated, not once in the entire time, ever said a word to me about my coverage of the company.
Me neither.
And I greatly appreciate that.
But, and remember the days where we would play Hallelujah whenever we mentioned GE?
Back in those days. So, but it will be fair to point out that we will be completely unassociated with the company that has been our parent for a long time. And then, of course, we are going to be talking endlessly about the virtues of Versant. VSNT, for all of you out there, soon to trade, although not here.
1 to 25? It's a tough ratio.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But it's
bad ratio for us.
Maybe it'll trade at like 5 times. No, it's 5 times EBITDA.
I'm just saying that if it were not us, I would say that was a bad idea and someone should have gone over it. You don't do that kind of ratio.
Why?
Because there isn't anyone who gets it from Comcast who would think about not selling it.
I see.
It's a natural to sell.
There may be some dislocation in the early days, but we'll worry about that in a couple of weeks.
We'll let it settle.
Fair enough.
Let's get to the markets as we start to wrap up this year. We're on track to open higher as we kick off, as we said, the final full week of trading. Next week, of course, will bring us Christmas holiday, New Year's following that, Jim. But we'll see whether we get some kind of Santa Claus rally.
Right. Look, I think that there is I'll tell you, I did a piece for the club this weekend. People are saying, well, there's an AI bubble and it's going to pop. It popped. What the hell are they thinking about? The collapse in NVIDIA is rather stunning. There's been absolutely, whatever Jensen says has meant absolutely nothing, in the same way that whatever he said meant nothing on the way up. The disrespect that I see for NVIDIA and the fact that they are so caught up in a China trade and whether China's good or not, all I can tell you, I mean, the chart's bad, whatever. This is a stock that wants to go down, so to speak. And I think people just want to associate that in Oracle with the overextended ones, and they're very, very different. NVIDIA has a product cycle coming out. I think it's going to be a huge product cycle. It's going to distance themselves from everybody else. And we're not going to be talking about Google's chip. We're not talking about whatever Amazon's doing. We're going to be talking about a chip that Jensen has said will be the reasoning chip. And I don't understand. I'm not saying disrespect. I am just saying that if you look at this, the idea that it was still going up, We all act as if all that's happened is Nvidia stock keeps going up. What a bubble!
But it has.
Well, no one wants to touch this damn thing. I mean, this thing is so toxic. It's toxic. Now, I like it, and I told people in the club to buy it. I feel very alone. I think it's headed to 150. I can see that. I'm not an idiot. But I will tell you this.
All right, well, let's start there. Why do you think it's going to go down another 20-odd
Because everyone
points?
thinks, I think the zeitgeist is that everybody spent too much, that OpenAI's in big trouble, that Oracle's in big trouble, that when they come out and have Disney and Disney gives them $1 billion, well, maybe that's the paperwork that we need. But it's not business to business, so therefore it's no good. Look, OpenAI will raise the amount of money that it needs. They will. They will. Why? Because money raising is still easy. NVIDIA, on the other hand, has to deal with the fact that it got too caught up in China rhetoric, the polemics of China, and that AMD made a move, that obviously Broadcom behind the scenes made a move, and NVIDIA's got a product cycle. When that product cycle comes out, I think people are going to say, wow, this is the end of hallucination. Because right now, hallucinations keep, when you go and analyze what the big holdup is, why